Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we have WWE Crown Jewel 2022 DVD review for you guys. This is a 2-disc DVD set, and this would feature the Logan Paul Roman Reigns championship match. Of course, this was the Crown Jewel from Saudi Arabia, and this would take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, at the Mersul Park. Hope I'm saying that correctly. This was November the 5th, 2022, like I mentioned, in Riyadh. And let's see, this would be, I think, the 4th or 5th Crown Jewel pay-per-view going back to 2018. So this would be the 4th Crown Jewel pay-per-view from Saudi Arabia. Overall, this would be the 8th event from Saudi Arabia. Remember 2020, they only did the one, if I remember correctly, and then they didn't return until, I think, Crown Jewel of 2021. So yeah, I think they signed, what, a 10-year deal or something like that to host, I think, 2 events per year. I don't know if that's been pushed back due to the COVID and whatnot, but yeah, we're about halfway through this Saudi Arabia deal, which just makes massive amounts of money for the WWE. So yeah, Crown Jewel 2022. I think the pay-per-views here are getting better. This was one of the better shows from Saudi Arabia. And, you know, a lot of these pay-per-views are usually just filler, but this one was pretty enjoyable. So this is a 2-disc set, like I mentioned. We did get a really cool sticker. Actually, pretty cool cover as well. We got Roman and Logan Paul. Really cool sticker with the WWE Universal Undisputed Champion, Roman Reigns. Of course, Cheapo Eco. We got our Crown Jewel yellow and green. Really cool. I honestly not a fan of the DVDs or the artwork they choose. It's very bland. Just not a fan of it. Let's take a look at this spine, and then we'll run down the match card and whatnot. So yeah, we got Lesnar and Lashley on the spine. And a couple of these, if you remember, were not released on DVD. I think the 2018 Crown Jewel, the first pay-per-view there, after the Greatest Royal Rumble, of course. The first Crown Jewel, though, was not on DVD. And I think one more was not, if I remember correctly. It's hard for me to remember. Oh, pretty cool artwork on the back here. We have about a 5-hour runtime, approximately 300 minutes. So you see Roman Reigns, Logan Paul. And this is for the first time ever, Roman Reigns and the media megastar Logan Paul face off for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in a rematch from their encounter at the Royal Rumble. Huh? Oh, this is a totally, completely different sentence. In a rematch from their encounter at the Rumble, Lashley takes on Brock Lesnar. We see a photo there. Got a shot of the Usos, Strowman and Omos. Shot from a cage match. Really cool there with Bailey and Bianca. And Damian Priest hitting that big old leg drop. So yeah, let's run down this this match card, and there is some extras to get into as well. So we'll run down all that cool stuff. So first up, of course, we had Lesnar versus Lashley in a single match. We had Damage Control challenging Asuka and Alexa Bliss for the women's tag titles. Asuka and Alexa had just won the tag titles on Raw the Monday prior, and they are defending them here. Very short run for Asuka and Alexa Bliss. I'm not a fan when WWE does this. Damage Control was actually on a decent run, and they have been on a good run. This was a year ago, and if I try to just look quickly at the women's tag titles, I believe they're a 2 or 3 time champion by now. Oh, they were 2. Yeah, so Asuka and Alexa only held the titles for 5 days. Yeah, they were. They held the titles about 50 days up to this point. Asuka and Alexa, or Damage Control, before dropping them on Raw and winning them back in Saudi Arabia. They would then hold the titles and then drop them to Becky Lynch and Lita just more recently prior to WrestleMania. That was actually in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Oh, pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan when WWE does that. Just the women's division is very bad for that. Just throwing a couple of women together and putting the titles on them. It devalues the titles, devalues the division. You have a few, women that have been together a while, and you don't even use them. We had McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a steel cage. Fairly good match. Judgment Day versus the OC in a 6-man tag. This was a Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic versus Styles, Gallows, and Anderson. Pretty good 6-man tag. Braun Strowman versus Omos. Really good match. Two super heavyweights going at it. Omos is the best. Then we had a undisputed tag team championship match. The Usos defending against the Brawling Brutes. Another really good match here. Only went about 10 minutes, but that was a really good 10-minute. Last woman standing match for the Raw Women's Championship. Bayley challenging Bianca Belair. And then in the main event, Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. This match goes about 25 minutes. Very good match. A lot of people, kind of underestimating Logan Paul here. I think he's done really, really good. His matches have, pretty much all been fantastic, by my standards. A lot of people as well, rank his matches quite high. If we look at Meltzer's star ratings, he gave that match 4.5 stars between Reigns and Logan Paul. So I think Logan Paul's doing something right here. I wanted to talk about AJ Styles here. Unfortunately, Styles was injured on New Year's Eve. Well, he announced he had been injured on New Year's Eve at a house show. And looks like that might have been one of his last matches, was at this Crown Jewel event. Well, at a house show, but one of his last big matches was here at Crown Jewel. and he required surgery and whatnot. So broken ankle is, pretty tough on a guy like Styles, who's, quick on his feet. He's, uses the ropes a lot for his moves. So hopefully Styles gets healed up quick. Disc 2 pretty much just features Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, as well as a bunch of extras. We got 75 minutes worth of extras. They don't mention any of that on here, which I'm not a fan of. We do have a press conference, which is prior to the event. That's about 15 minutes. Did write everything down. We got 3 or 4 segments from Raw on Halloween. So like I said, this was the Raw prior to the event, the go-home show. Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross goes about 11 minutes. Lesnar-Lashley Brawl goes about 8 minutes. Damian Priest versus Carl Anderson goes about 10 minutes. And then Damage Control versus Asuka and Alexa Bliss for the women's tag titles. That goes about 17 minutes. So that's like a 2 or 3 segment match there. Very good match. Like I mentioned, they dropped the titles on Raw, won them back on the pay-per-view. We got a Bray Wyatt promo from SmackDown a couple days prior to that Raw. Man, I'm just so disappointed with how this Bray Wyatt stuff turned out. So much hype and so much thought went into that White Rabbit, with all the clues and whatnot, the QR codes, and so much stuff went into that. And, it really sucks. He has not been used to his full potential. So he has a promo there on the SmackDown, October 28th. We get a Bloodline promo on November the 4th. Goes about 7 minutes. Pretty cool. I love when DVDs have, loads of extras like this. We don't get that much anymore where, pretty much you get the DVD, you got the event, and that's about it. You're lucky if you get a promo or a segment. I remember, years and years ago where the, post-match promos, pre-match promos, you might get a match or two from Sunday Night Heat, some other stuff from Raw and SmackDown, and, DVDs used to be loaded, so I'm really happy to see a lot of these extras on here. So there we have Crown Jewel 2022. Let me know your thoughts. As always, comment down below some of your favorite moments from Crown Jewel. And if you were able to pick this up, put it in your collection. I thought this was a pretty good event. And as always, we'll talk to you later. Peace.